Welcome to Speak Love. We are so glad that you are with us. We are coming to you live from Yuma, Arizona at Champion Church. So girls, let's give everybody a hand today who is with us. Welcome. Whatever screen you are watching this on, we are just honored to be with you. I believe you are here on purpose. I believe you may think it's an accident this station is on your television, or you've come across this on YouTube, or however you're watching this on Facebook, wherever it is. I want you to know, I believe it is not on accident that you're here today. So I've been ministering some mistakes I've made. I'd love to get up here and tell y'all I'm a perfect, amazing chick for Jesus. But I'm just a human, and I'm just a girl who woke up one day and said, you know what? I love Jesus with all my heart. Went to Vacation Bible School, which we got Vacation Bible School coming up, and I really suggest everybody serve at Vacation Bible School because you just don't know the next little preacher person you're ministering to. You just don't know the person who feels like giving up at home, even they're a child, and they find Jesus and what he can do to set them on fire for him at a young age. So I found Jesus at Vacation Bible School, and that was it for me. I just decided I'm going to become a minister like the guy who was a ventriloquist. I went and got my own doll, and I began traveling as a little kid. I look at my little Luke now. He's 7. I have an Asher who's 12, Ariel is 7, Luke is 7, and Ezekiel is 5. And I look at them and I think, oh my gosh, by that age, I was having my next booking. I had my big green suitcase after we got rid of Willie Talk, and I found Tekla at Disneyland. I had to save up half the money to go and get her. And so I would be called, and I'd go to hospitals and schools and all over, and I had my big green suitcase. Pastor Stephen remembers that because it turned into our dining room table when we first got married. Tekla and her big green suitcase, it was the second one because the first one finally just died on us, so I had to get a second one. And so that second one was with me for probably 15 years or more, and so we didn't have a dining room table, so I thought, Tekla's perfect. So I set Tekla down, I put a towel over the top. It was a big trunk. Do you remember those big, like, hard trunks, and you had to have a key to get inside of it? So we would lock Tekla in, and so we would sit and have candlelight dinner on top of my little Tekla doll. So God requested leadership on me young, and I rose up to the occasion, and I said yes. So today I want to speak to you on mistakes I have made in leadership. Because I've been leading since a little kid. Then when my mom said, she took over Vacation Bible School. Talk about a leader. My mom was like a leader. She loved to lead. And she took over the Sunday school department at 2 churches we were at. But this one church, Community Chapel, I'll never forget. They had a Sunday school shed on the property. And this little white shed was out like in the parking lot. And then the children's building was here, and then other places throughout the church. And my mom would she would, I want to say recruit teachers, but instead she would like inspire people to become teachers. She had like tons of teachers all over because that's when we did age groups and we blocked everything up. And so when she took over the shed, my dad built all kinds of shelves for her. And she had, craft things here and stories there. And every time I would pop in to say hi to my mom during church, she always had at least one or more troubled children in her shed with her. And I would say, oh, hi, Mom. And she'd go, oh, hi, this is so-and-so. She would introduce me, James, whoever. And she would say, oh, he's having a hard time sitting still, aren't you, James? But so today, he's going to be with Miss Marilyn. He's going to be here with me, and he's helping me with this, and he's going to be my delivery boy. And he's going to take all the Sunday school lessons and all the things and so she would just get her special needs or her challenged children, and she would grab their heart, and it wouldn't be long, and they wouldn't have to come back into the shed with her, but they would always want to, but she would be like, no, not today. And she was just that kind of a leader. And I remember her helping teachers that could never be on time, and the things that she would say and how she would handle. One time these 2 teachers had this bad behavior, and they got mad at each other, and they slammed the door, and they were doing their things, and I just looked at my mom, and nothing missed a beat. The kids were sitting with her, and she just was teaching on, and my eyes are as big as silver dollars. These 2 ladies are going at it, and she just handled that like a professional. She got the kids taken care of, and she set those 2 ladies down, and I was able to kind of listen to what was going on, and she taught me so much about leadership. So I want to talk to you about some mistakes I've made along the way, because no matter what, you are a leader today. You're leading your families. You're leading your communities. You're leading on social media. You're leading your beautiful children. You're leading your offices. You're leading your church ministry. Whatever it is, you're leading somebody somewhere. And there's mistakes I hope that I've made that can maybe inspire you, maybe give you a hope, maybe give you a different idea going down a road in your leadership so you can be much more effective, because that's what God wants us to be, is effective. And of course, there's no greater leader than Jesus. Y'all can watch Gary Vee, John Maxwell, you can watch Joe Rogan, you can watch Jordan Peterson, Candace, whoever it is, there's no greater leader than Jesus Christ, honey. He wrote the book. You want to become a good leader? Know Jesus, because when you know Jesus, he says, nothing is impossible with God. Nothing is impossible with me. And I mean, there's many, many, many more promises, but if you need a promise for leadership right now, and you're struggling, and there's a challenge going on in your life, and you're trying to lead out of it, remember the number one communicator who was only here on earth for 3 years. Some of us all got gray hair. We've been here forever teaching on leadership for 40, 50, 60 years. Jesus was here for 3 years. And you can never find a better leadership book than the Word of God. The Word of God will direct you. Listen, the Word of God will heal your family. The Word of God will heal your heart. The Word of God will help you. You get everything you can to get well and better. But I'm going to tell you what, when you wash yourself with the Word and you worship and you trust Jesus, you'll lead yourself out of any circumstance that you may find yourself in today. So number one, the biggest mistake, this isn't the biggest, but thinking I could be everyone's friend and lead them at the same time. You are not called to be your child's friend. You're their leader. You're their mentor. You're their coach. You're their guidance. That's why we have guidance counselors at schools. They help guide children, hopefully, in the ways of the Lord. And I want to thank all of you who lead children. That's you who mentor our children, teach our children. Thank you for those of you with beautiful intentions in your heart. We honor you today. We need you. We strengthen you. Too many teachers right now, because of the few that get shown on whatever is out there, lives on TikTok or whatever. We think all teachers, they're being painted in a, no, they're not. They're beautiful, amazing people. We had a couple of champions related here that were almost Teacher of the Year. That's leadership right there. Brenda, she's sitting here right now. She was nominated and right at the top running for Teacher of the Year. Violet, what an amazing teacher you are. Special needs. She just retired this year of spending her career teaching the people that have so many challenges, our children that have challenges, the success stories she tells me. So amazing. I think about my Asher and Ariella, who both have autism, and the special needs teachers that have helped them learn to do things and answer back and learn things and invested in them. Thank you. That's true leadership. Oh my goodness, we honor you today. And I feel like it's important we pause and honor those of you who are leading our next generation. Because I always firmly believe there should be you. And you should have a mentor. That doesn't mean you even have to know them. Some of my greatest mentors were just simply by watching their messages. Back in my day, it was a tape or a CD. But anyways, it was listening to them, letting them inspire me, motivate me, allowing me to call them when there was a challenge, when there was an issue. So I always had a mentor. I still do today. And then there's myself. I should be investing in. I should be getting stronger in. I should be developing in. And then I need a hand here. You know, we were having Jesus Girl. That's where our young women come for the summer, the first Tuesday of every June through the summer. And our young women are leading these other younger women. And I got so emotional. I got to be careful because then I'll have to do this through my whole message. I don't want to get teary-eyed, but I got so teary-eyed watching beautiful Calissa, beautiful Cassidy, all the different ones even under them, Genesis, the different ones leading. And I said to myself, God, I have a part in that. I helped mentor that in them. I'm so thankful that I get to see it in my lifetime being displayed again in the next generation, because I did what my mentors taught me. I had a mentor. I developed myself, and I've been developing others for many years, and I'm so thankful to see the fruit in their life now. 1 Corinthians 15:58 says, therefore, my dear brothers and sisters, stand firm. When I put in there, stand firm alone. Stand firm. Let nothing move you. Always give yourselves fully to the work of the Lord, because you know that your labor in the Lord is not in vain. We cannot blur the lines between friendship and leadership. And you can be honest with people, because we have to lead. If you do that, it will lead to compromised authority and difficult decisions being avoided to maintain those friendships. I wish I could have lunch with every single one of you today. I wish I could go shopping with you. I could come over and see how you decorate your houses. I wish I could have all of you over, but it's too much, it's too many, and it could be very overwhelming. It doesn't mean I don't love you, but I lead you, and you'd rather have me leading you than loving you. You've got to let your leader lead and not blur the lines of friendship and leadership. It doesn't mean we don't love you. We're not going to be there for you. We're there to help you. People make schedule. They come and see us. It's in a form, in a format. I wish I could be best friends with everybody, but you don't want that from me. Because by the time this massive church of 3 services packed out, if I was everybody's friend in this church, I wouldn't have any time to kiss my husband at night. I wouldn't have any time to make him a nice dinner. I wouldn't have time to be a grandma. I wouldn't have time to be a mama. I wouldn't have time to be a leader, because I was down having friendships. Do not be afraid to rise up, dear leader, and be the leader. I'm so thankful for the day. I was crying around. I don't have any friends. Oh, I was young. I was probably about, 14, 15. Maybe I don't have any friends. Oh. And my dad said to me, Cindy, leaders learn to stand alone. And I believe God has just spoken to me that it's your season to learn to be alone. And it's okay. And like I told somebody who was talking to me yesterday, some little sweet voice was saying to me, I have a friend. I said, you do? Yeah, I have a friend. I said, guess what? All you ever need in life is one friend. You don't need to buy this thing. You need 20 friends. You got to have a big pile of friends. If you got one friend, you got something good. So if you're a leader today, find a friend. I'll never forget seeing beautiful Sheila Gerald and Patrice Ulp walking across the parking lot at Champion Center. I went there. I went to a Christian Faith Center with Wendy and Casey Treat for a women's conference. I had never seen anything like that before. God began to expose me, expand my capacity in my heart. Many things that you see at Champion now came to me in those early days of being mentored by amazing women of God. And I thought to myself, I could never be friends with those two people. They are beautiful. Sheila Gerald had on a gold coat that went down to the ground, and it was blowing in the Seattle wind. And she had earrings on the size of batteries. I'm surprised they weren't lighting up. And her hair back in those early 90s was flipped back beautiful. Flawless makeup. Patrice Ulp was just as beautiful. And I was just like, wow. And I prayed for them. I said, God, give them the best lunch and the best day ever. They are such amazing leaders with big churches doing amazing things. So I'm just worshiping Jesus. I'm loving him after worship. Amen. The service is done. I turn to leave, and there's beautiful Sheila Gerald standing right there. And she goes, who are you? And I told her who I was. And she goes, I just feel like I need to know who you are. I'm going to take you out tonight. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm staying at somebody's house. She goes, don't worry about it. All I need is the address. We'll figure out how to take you home. And she just grabbed me. The next thing you know, I'm driving in her big, beautiful, white, massive, gorgeous car. And she puts Patrice Ulp in the back seat with 2 other pastor girls and puts me in the front seat with her. I'm like, Jesus, 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 because he was developing a leader in me. If you have a heart for leadership, you ask Jesus to set you up, and he will. Pastor girl, you are not meant to pastor alone. You are not meant to be a pastor's wife alone. Find other pastors' wives. They're looking for you. They're praying for friendships with you. Whatever industry you're in, girls, find mentorships. I can tell you what, these 2 teachers sitting in this room right now who were amazing and still are amazing, had mentors back in their early days. If you are called to do something for God, have a mentor. They don't have to be your friend. They don't need to take you all to dinner, lunch. They don't need to remember your birthday. They don't need to text you and tell you how amazing you are. All they need to do is sow into your life and grow your capacity. Because when your capacity enlarges, you can lead so much better. Mistake number 2 was failing to delegate. Trying to do it all yourself because you're so amazing, you're the only one who can do it. Exodus 18:17 and 18 in the NIV says, Moses' father-in-law replied, "What you are doing, Moses, is not good. You and these people who come to you will only wear yourself out. The work is too heavy for you, and you cannot handle it alone." You're not meant to do life alone, beautiful ones. You're not meant to run your household all by yourself. You're not meant to run your business all by yourself. Because if you think you can work in a restaurant and be the hostess, and then be the waitress, and then go cook the meal, then bring the meal out, then clean the meal up, then go back, wash the dishes, and start it all, it doesn't work that way. And there's one thing that Pastor Stephen has taught me to live by, and it is this: do not do anything that you say, I have to do. I have to make 25 phone calls. I have to get certain things set up. I have to, because there's somebody in your life, listen to me, who is saying, I get. You mean I get to make all those phone calls? You mean I get to help set things up? I love setting things up. Pastor Jessica just told me not too long ago, I love making those photo booths. Oh no, I love it. And I was like, whoo, because that would have been, I had to. That would have been my had to. I got too much going on, creativity. Good Lord, I was helping with the Father's Day one because she was out of town. And our beautiful other leader who does creative, she's setting up her gym. I'm not going to ask her to make no photo booth. So Pastor Becky and I, and all of you other ones, you are all so precious and beautiful. Who was that third person with us? Oh, Yolanda, that's right. And we're all trying to put together a Father's Day booth. I had to, because I didn't get to be with the get-to. She'd be out of town. So there's always somebody around you. Pray, ask God, who feels like they get to do this? Because there's people around you who get to serve God alongside you. And I'll tell you something else on this topic. Nobody is doing me any kind of favors when they step up and serve God. It's one of the first things I teach my young leaders. No. Nobody's doing you a favor. You're not asking somebody to come and help you. You're not asking somebody to step up and kind of whatever. You're looking for people to have an opportunity to grow, to serve, and to do something for their Savior, Jesus Christ. Because we are called to train up those who are apostles, who are prophets, who are teachers. And those of us who are called to be disciples of Jesus Christ, we're called to train you up and let you go. I love what beautiful Caroline just told me. She was saying that a church she came from in San Diego was some reach, teach, and send. I love that. All churches have these little things, but the truth is every church is here to strengthen you and empower you and help you grow in who you are with Jesus Christ. So you today be strengthened to know that Jesus is working on your behalf to set you up to lead well and to lead strong. Nobody is doing you a favor. They're growing in Jesus Christ because they get to serve Jesus. They get to have an opportunity to serve their master. And I tell people, if you ask somebody and they say no and they can't, it's because their capacity just is not there yet. You keep believing for them. You keep checking in on them. Don't you give up because somebody told you no once. You ask them again and never think, they're too busy. Jesus uses busy people. When somebody's busy, I know one thing, they're great for that job because they're going to want to do it because they're busy. They know how to delegate. They know how to add just a little bit more. Right, Destiny Johnson? They know how to add just a little bit more. Jesus rarely asks somebody who don't got nothing to do. He looks for people who are already serving, doing, leading, and he's like, come on, you can do one more thing. Especially if you get to and you love that thing. You're going to find a way to say yes to that thing. You're going to find a way to love that thing. It's all about recognizing we're stronger together. Every one of us are stronger together. Every minister is stronger when it's together. Every teacher is stronger when it's together. Every mama is stronger when they're together. That's why we have our MOPS group, which is now MomCo, Mothers of Preschoolers. It will begin in August again. Mamas are not meant to be mamas alone because we're stronger together when we show up with our babies and they're babysat and they're taken care of, and you get beautiful coffee, beautiful snacks, and you get to sit down and just share because you're stronger together. Women's ministry, we're stronger together. We can reach more people together. Ministries are stronger when we lock arms and we are together. Jesus immediately began to get his disciples. Because Jesus knew in order for me to accomplish all that I have to accomplish, I need disciples. I need leaders by me. Great leaders are influencers. I could spend a whole 3 hours on influencing, on how to be an influencer. You want to be an influencer? Stand up straight, take a deep breath, and get some energy in your body. Good Lord, you walk around like this, and I'm just saying, people that influence have energy. Come on, they got something to give. They're just a little cut above. They smile just a little bit bigger. They're just a little bit louder in the room. They love a whole lot more. They're interested in you and not themselves. They're interested in who you are as a person, not just on what they can give, but what can you give. That's an influencer. Leadership is influence. So if you don't have anybody you're influencing, maybe you need to stand a little bit taller, take a little bit more of a deeper breath, and love people around you like never before. And you'll begin to see your sphere of influence grow and grow. Mistake number 3, underestimating the importance of communication. Proverbs 18:21 tells us, the tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit. So many times our communication gets lost in translation. Early in my leadership, I assumed that my team would just understand my intentions, my direction without clear, consistent communication. This often would lead to misunderstandings, everybody, confusion, and a lack of unity. It's not just enough to have a vision. You must also articulate it well and ensue that everyone understands that their role is the overall mission. So I want to read to you out of Frontline Woman, my Frontline Woman book, as we get ready to close. These are some things I would tell someone who wants to become a better leader. You want to grow in your influence. You want to grow in what you're doing at your job. You want to grow in your position. Maybe you're a manager. Maybe you're an owner. Maybe you are the mom of a house, a dad of a house. Maybe you're in the military and you want to strengthen your leadership. They're good with strengthening leadership, but I'm talking about strengthening from within out, because we can always act a part, but leaders become the part. It becomes part of who you are. So in my book, I write here, arrive at God's house on time and early. Make your bed. Make your bed. If you don't like your bed, you're not making it. Make it where you like your bed. If you need a new bedspread, some pretty sheets, make them all nice. Whatever you need to do, fluff it up. Make your bed. Get yourself dressed on time. Quit pushing the snooze button. Come on, leaders, get there. Leaders, get up. Leaders aren't picking the sleep out of their eye when they get where they're going. The sleep was washed out a long time ago. Come on, arrive early to God's house. When Sunday starts, it starts on Saturday night. What are you gonna wear? Don't wreck your closet Sunday morning trying to find those black heels or those black boots you've been looking for. Now you can't find them. Your house is a wreck because you're trying to get out the door. Leaders, prepare. Be prepared and find what you're gonna wear the night before. Then you don't have arguing, you don't have fighting. Your husband's like, where's my shirt? I don't know, it needs to be ironed. Now you're mad, you have to iron. So you're slamming everything around. Y'all get in the car, you're screaming and yelling, and you show up at church, hello. Arrive at God's house on time. Serve regularly. Attend one, serve one. We have 3 services. It's time to get involved. No more sidelines. You are frontline ready. When the music begins for worship, be the first one to stand up and sing from your heart. You will be leading worship right from your seat. These are a beautiful, amazing worship team. They're amazing people. Oh my gosh. But you know what makes them even more amazing? When you're worshiping with them. And people are viewing them through you. And when you just stand there, scroll. Oh, take a picture and load it. People aren't inspired by you. You are a leader. You are a disciple of Jesus Christ in his house. Let people see you worshiping, and they will see that, and you model leadership to them on how they can grow and get stronger. Give with an expectation and happiness in your heart. Open God's word and read along with your pastor. Sit on the edge of your seat and get excited about the bread he's getting ready to feed you. Take notes. Be alert to what God is asking you to do. This would be the very thing I would tell a young leader to begin doing as God begins to develop them. And as you develop yourself on a daily basis and you develop within you, you will begin to see your influence grow and get stronger. You will begin to see God move on your behalf. This is a bit of a different message than I usually preach. I usually preach like something like, I don't know, right in your heart. But this is something that needs to be said to people everywhere, that leadership matters. God, in this day and age, we don't know what's going to happen. We got things getting ready to happen in our country. Things are going whatever in our world. AI's taken over. Oh my goodness, I could go on and on. But you know what? We're called to be leaders in a time like this. We are not called to shrink back. We are called to be the influencers. We are called to take somebody's hand and bless them. We're called with our little champion cards, and you flip it over and Jesus is all the things somebody just shared with you, their problems, their challenges, their issues. You got a message on the back of that card for exactly what they're believing God for. You are leaders today in this day and in this age, and God is going to set himself up to use you. And I don't believe in certain, like when people say, oh my gosh, I can't believe, what a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidence. It's on purpose with God. And today your life is on purpose for a purpose. You're called to leave. So I pray for you now in the mighty name of Jesus. You'll be strengthened in your spirit as God uses you and positions you for great leadership in the world right now, because you are needed. We love you. Thank you for watching with us today. Thank you for liking, subscribing. We're so glad that you are with us. We love you. God bless you.